Folks, and welcome back to this Z50 1969. Right, I'm going to start cleaning this engine up. You can see where I've just started doing these little bits, get all this dirt out, try and polish it up a bit. Right, I'm going to push on. Right, as you can see, the engine's off the bench again. Back in the frame. I just need to know when I've done the cam chain everything was right. She's just sitting over there, sitting there on tick over. No cam chain noise. Looking good. Clean the engine up somewhat. Down here. When the new casing, well, the repainted casings go on. But yeah, she's sweet as a nut now. No noise. Happy chappy. I'm going to stick it all back together now. And then I know it's ready to go in the new frame. So I'm going to crack on, put the exhaust on and the other bits. So there we go. Exhaust on. And she's sitting there lovely. Oh, there we go, she's died. Well, she's bound to die. She's got no petrol in it. She's run out of petrol. So yeah, well happy now. Waiting for Bill to start the next job. It's Sunday today, he reckons he's going to have it. A lot of it done by Monday. I did say this is part 5 anyway, I don't think I did. But yeah, we've come a long way and it's getting there now. Still got loads of stuff knocking around for it. It's got to go on it. But we'll soon be on the build. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Maybe even have a ride on it, because I haven't even rode this one yet. Right. I'll crack on with some more jobs, bring you back as I move on. Well, it's Monday morning. I thought we'd tackle this job because the fork boots are all knackered. So we've got some new parts sitting there. I've had a look at that set of forks we've got. Not impressed. These look in far better condition, so I'm going to go with these. So let's get these things on. Well, that's impressive. I've slid it out and we have a piece of Coca-Cola can wrapped around it, and these actually look like they're new anyway. So what's going on there? We'll have a little investigate, but yeah, shimmed out with that. Maybe these are Chinese ones and not genuine Honda. Don't know. We'll have a look, see what's going on. We'll try and make the best forks out of what we've got. And there you go. This one's the same. As I'm starting to draw it out, it'll focus on it. Down here we have Coke can again, for some strange reason. That one's done. It's a pretty easy job as long as these collars come off alright, and these ones have. It's just knocking the roll pin out there. As you can see, someone's already ground that one like that. Yeah, you take that out. It's the only way you can change the boot on these because of that lug. So I'll crack on with that one. Well, that was a pretty straightforward job. Just take that out, that part comes off, and just swap the stuff over. Yeah, and takes a couple of minutes. Right, let's stick it back in. The plan is I'm going to drop all this back off when I put it on the new headstock thing. I had a terrible thought when I was doing this. I thought, have I got them on the other ones? I have to go in and check. But yeah, we have got them. It was one of them blinding moments where you think, oh poo. Anyway, I've had a message off Bill, the tank's done, ready for me to pick up. So I'll get down there and see him. I'm there to wind Bill up again.
Well, I've just re-primed it, flattened it, re-primed it.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to put what they call the gel coat on.
Yeah.
And you've got to flat it with that piece of paper.
I thought you'd do it for me.
No, I've done it once. This is what you do now, look.
What do I do?
Just
Oh.
black. Bit of black.
That's a bit racist.
That's it. And then when the black's gone, it's flatted.
Is it?
And it should paint as good as what you've done the rest. I was going to put a lot of black on, but I changed my mind.
Yeah, I know, because that makes me have to flat it even more.
There you are.
Yeah.
Service with a smile.
Yeah, righto. I haven't videoed what you were swearing at me, just. Yeah. What does that remind me of? Some sort of fish?
Come out of a lot of it.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to put it in the oven.
It's not like my heated oven.
But my heater's better.
Yeah.
There we go. Oven cook.
How
And
long?
it's for Andrew.
How long do we cook it for?
Oh, 5 minutes.
5 minutes. We have
And
to.
it's all yours. And I can walk away happy again.
Yeah, righto. It's lucky you didn't hear all the swearing when I turned up. What was it like to fill, Bill?
Pardon?
What was it like to fill?
It was not the nicest tank to fill, mate.
You've told me never to bring a small tank again, ain't you?
Correct.
Yeah, I wonder
You
what.
can, the horrible.
Oh
But
well.
as you are such a loyal customer that
I
they
don't-
never
I'm
ever
not-
pay,
I'll never pay.
well, that's what I mean. That's why I will put that extra bit in for you.
What, a run?
I can do.
Right, let's have a chat with Bill and I'll catch up with you in a second. Right then, back from Bill's. And I'm going to have a go what he's told me to do. He's wet flat it. So I've got me warm soapy water. And I'm going to give it a go. Take this black off. And it should be ready. Wish me luck. I'm not looking forward to this. But you only learn by trying. Right, I'll bring you back as I progress. So I've done what Bill said. I'm on the second coat of plaid silver. Got one more coat to put on. And I'm quite happy at the minute. Still bricking it, because I've never done this sort of work on a tank before. So one more coat of that, and then I'm going to let it set up and dry properly before we go and try and put the fine line tape on and mask it all up for the blue. Right, I'm going to go for it. Well, that's it. It's had its 3 coats. I'm happy. Very nervous when I done it. But yeah, it's looking alright to me. None of them runs in it. Yeah, oh, what's going on with the focus? Yeah, very happy. But I was very nervous. Right, I'm just going to let that cure off now. I'll leave it for today. And we'll have a go at it again tomorrow. Well, it's come to that time. It's shit or bust time. It's masked up, degreased. And I suppose I've just got to go for it. I'm not saying I'm fully confident, but I just got to go for it and just hope for the best. Whatever happens, it'll be better than what I started with. Let's get the first coat on, see how it goes. That's the first coat on. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Don't look too bad at the minute. Leave it 10-15 minutes and get the next one on. Well, that's it. It's had the other 3 coats of the candy stuff. Now it's in the lap of the gods. I'll leave it 15 minutes and then demask it, ready for the clear lacquer. I'm just hoping it's going to come out okay. Yeah, nerve-wracking. Well, that's it. Just the lacquer to go on now. Don't look too bad. Yeah. Right, just the lacquer to go. We'll lit it with the lacquer and see what happens. Well, that's it. Lacquer's done. I don't know what time it is, about 8 o'clock at night. Been messing with this most of the day. If you're interested in what lacquer I used, it's this Pro XL. It's a clear gloss, petrol resistant. I thought we'd go with that. Obviously, being a petrol tank, we've had it where you actually petrol's reacted with the lacquer after being sprayed, so we've gone with that. But yeah, I've had enough for today. But yeah, happy as happy. Looks fantastic. Thanks, Bill, for what you've done to the tank, sorting the dents out, prepping it up. But yeah, well happy with it. Right then, I'm going to leave this till tomorrow now, not touch it. I'm just going to take it in the house out of the way so I can get the bikes away. But yeah, what a transformation. Right folks, it's Tuesday night. I've got a problem. I've got nothing to go in that hole. So I nipped over Huggies and seen Barry today. And Barry's a good lad. And look what he found. He found me some of these. So I found similar on the internet for these actual Z50s, and they're wanting $99.99 for something that goes in that little hole. And I ain't gonna be able to pay that. So what I've done, I've made this out of one of these. There's the other bits. So from that to that, an LED light which will slip into that. But I've done the blue one just as a test to see if it'd work, because on these headlights it's supposed to be a red one. So what I'm going to do is make that the same as that to go in that. Right, I'm going to crack on, and I've done my test bit and I'll show you when I've done it. So here's what's inside. You got the light and the fixing, and then you have this piece, and inside there is that bit. So I'm going to cut this off here, split that so it'll go where the lug is on this. If you look there, there's that pin. I need it so it'll slip through that. So let's get that cut off. So I'll just use a little junior hacksaw. We've cut that off there. We've got the bit that we need. We had the bit we needed, so we'll just knocked it off. Next, I need to split that, and I'm going to do that just with a Dremel. Just take a slice out of it. So let me get that. Okay, with this redneck engineering, I'll slip that onto a bolt that it'd go on, and then just use the Dremel, the cutting disc, and slit it. Now, the next process is sticking that red bit there, hold tight, onto the end of that. So I'll crack on with that. So there you go, made a light, which is going to cost $99.99, which are out of stock anyway, and made my own for £2.50. These things, the LEDs, I'm going to put in auto jumble, next to nothing. You never know when you're going to need something. So I had a handful of them. As usual, the bits come in useful. And this I'll just grind down so it'll slip into there. It'll lock and stop it from pulling out of the hole there. So all in all, I think we've done well. Right, bring you back on the next job. Right, I just thought I'd show you what it looks like. There you go, little focus, and inside that slips in and holds it in tight. Job done. Well, it's Wednesday morning and I've decided it's time to start stripping this frame and start putting stuff on the frame we've done. So I've whipped the front wheel out. I think I'm going to start at the front, stripping everything off. You know the fork's going to come straight out because we've already had them out. We'll have the mud guard off and just gradually start putting it onto the other frame. Right, at the minute all I'm doing is taking bits from this frame and we're putting them on the new frame. I've got no room where I'm working at the minute putting it back together to do any filming, but it's pretty basic. You're taking one bit off one frame and putting it on the other frame. Once I get far enough so I can get it rolling again and get the new frame and the stuff back on the ramp, that's where I'll be doing. So I'm just going to carry on pulling bits off, put them on the new frame. Another thing, don't buy Chinese copy bits. They're just absolutely rubbish. Just spend the extra little bit of cash and buy genuine parts. Yeah, and this frame here, as you can see, if you'll focus on it, isn't the best. So yeah, this is all broke here. The race is still in there, but the frame's damaged. Right, I'll push on and I'll bring you back as soon as I can. Well guys, I've got the front end on the other frame, the stuff I've taken off this one. Ideally now I could do with clearing all that up and then take the exhaust off, all the bits off that's got to come off this, and then drop the engine out so I can get that on the bench. So that leaves the back end free for me then to get off and onto the other frame. Yeah, so I think we'll clean all up, make some room, and then we'll get this engine out. Okay, I had to tidy up. We've got the engine on the bench. Yeah, that wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. In my head, it was going to be easy, but it wasn't on my own. Yeah, as you undo it, try and drop the engine, the whole lot come down. So I had to take the engine off the frame in the end, lifting the frame up, leaving the engine on the jack. Right, plan. I'm going to start taking all the other bits off, like i.e. the back wheel, back mud guard, back light, get them in a box, and then I'll be left with the frame and the wiring and the bits and bobs there, and then I can get that on the bench. I should be able to, once I've got all the other bits, get the new frame on the bench, on the jack. Right, we'll push on. Right then, back on the ramp. While I was at it, I put new headstock bearings in and new chain tensioners. Yeah, it's been a bit stressful trying not to damage any of the paintwork. When I was putting the back wheel in, I did take a little bit of paint where the chain tensioners are, but that's just the way it always goes. The more you try not to do anything bad, the more you knock them about. But yeah, we can move on and start getting the casings done for that. I need to flip it over, take the casing off so I can put the painted case on, and new gasket. Yeah, but I think she's looking absolutely stunning at the minute. Yeah, it's been a bit of a project. Right, I'll bring you back when I move on to the next job. Well, it's Thursday morning and I've spent the first hour and a half just cleaning all the crap off the bottom of this engine. It's a lot better than what it was caked on. But yeah, clean that up a bit, and I think we're going to flip it over and have a look at where the casing goes on. See if we can get the case on the clutch side. So I've pushed on, got the casing off. Always do a pattern of where the bolts come out of. So next job, clean up all this old gasket. Yeah, gotta get all that off, and then we'll get the new one on. Right, I've put that casing back together in here. I'll put a new seal in as well. The gasket I've cleaned all off. This gasket I'm just gonna run grease all round it, both sides, so when the casing goes back on, if it has to come off at any point, it's not going to tear the new gasket. Right, so I'm going to get that done and we'll get this casing back on. Well, that's the casing on, all cleaned up. I've just had a massive fuck moment. You look at that case, yeah, I thought it was exactly the same. You look at that case, it's not the same. Look where the oil filler is on that. Look where the oil filler is on that. I'm hoping it's not gonna be an issue. But yeah, that's a massive fuck. Yeah. If necessary, I'll just have to do that case. But if I can get away with that one, I will. I've just slipped the exhaust on to make sure you can actually pull that out. Because that's a really stubby one. That's a really big one. We'll just have to see when it goes in the frame what's it like. Anyway, I'm going to push on. Well guys, I've just looked at some pictures of the bike, and that is exactly where the frame is. That's one major cock up. So guess what I'll be doing for the next few hours? Yep, I've been out, thrown that in the parts washer, just drying it off, and then looks like wet flatting on that. I've got to use that one because the other one just isn't going to work. Hold tight, because the frame's in the bloody way. Well, we live and learn. Thought I was being smart by using that. No, major cock up. At least it wasn't in the frame, and then found out that I can't get the dipstick out because I'm the dipstick. Right, I'm going to push on. I've got to rectify this cock up I've done. Right, I'll bring you back as I move on. Right then, I've pushed on. I've got this one in primer now. I'm just gonna wet flat it. Been warming plaid silver up. It was lucky that I actually greased that gasket up because it come off lovely. Yeah, we've got all this covered up. Right then, hold tight again. Let me get this wet flatted and we'll crack on. Well, that's the first coat of cloud silver. Excuse me. Yeah, that casing isn't as good as the other one. There's a few marks in it that you can't get out. It's just the way it is. Some scratches, as you can see, but they're really deep. Anyway, not to worry about that. But at least I've got a spare casing for something. You know, Z50, ST50, ST70. I suppose it'll fit quite a few bikes. I'll just end up putting some bubble wrap in a box and stick it away somewhere. Oh, gonna have a nice cup of tea while I wait for that to set up a bit. Well, that's it. I've done my best. It's 6:15 at night now. I've been here since 8 o'clock this morning. There's nothing I could do about this. It's too deep in the casings. But it's original. It's got some scars on it. It's 50 odd years old. And I'm happy with it. And thanks to Bill for the words of encouragement when he found out what happened. Told me just keep going. And I have. So I was hoping to be a lot further forward today, Thursday. I was hoping to have it in the frame, but hey ho, there's always tomorrow. There's no panic. We're getting there. I have cleaned the oil screen as well when I put the other case on. But yeah, progress is moving forward all the while. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Right folks, Friday morning. Let's see if we can put this mistake right. So I'm going to get the gasket on, get the casing on, get the exhaust off, and hopefully we're back to where he was yesterday. Right then, casing's on and I've dropped it back in the frame. Not too many dramas there, went pretty well. Just dropped the engine on the jack, balanced it up, and just wound it up, got it in there. I've changed a pipe there because I think this rubber pipe is a bit hard. Put the carburettor slide back in. So generally now I'm just going round checking everything. Put some new washers on there, general things. I'll bring you back again once we move on a bit further. Right, I thought I'd bring you back. I've put the footrests back on, kickstart, exhaust, the backlight bracket, that's back on. Chain guard, chain, gear lever, just the stuff we took off it before. But yeah, it's starting to look like a bike again now. I've emptied the box of the bits that I took off. Now I'm starting on the other box. I've got some new hand grips there, but they don't seem to want to go on. They seem really too tight. So what I'm going to do is get a bowl of boiling water and then see if I can shove it onto that, and then we'll probably cut the other one off the other side. Yeah, we're just going round, just putting bits back on. I've still got a wiring loom on the old frame over there. There's another wiring loom in the box. I'm not sure which one it's supposed to have, so I think there's a wiring loom in there and other bits and bobs that are going to go on. So that'll probably be the next thing after that, is have a look at the wiring loom. Right, so I'll try and get my hand grips on now. Well, that certainly made it a lot easier getting the grip on. Yeah, boiling hot water, went on a treat then. I think I'm going to cut that one off as well now. Right then lads, or girls, I've slipped the wiring loom on because I know it'll run with that, but I'm not convinced it's the right one for this bike. There's a code on there I'm going to have to check up on, and the other loom that was on that frame, it'll focus, there you go, that's that loom. What I've got to find out is which one will run the lights and everything, because this frame should have a battery on, but it's very similar, but I won't know until we start the wiring. And we all know how much fun wiring is. Right, I'll bring you back as I start scratching my head. Yeah, but it's looking pretty damn cool now. Well guys, it's Saturday morning and I quite fancy frying my brain for a few hours with wiring, because I'm convinced this is the loom for this bike. So I'm going to start off. We've got a broken wire here, the ends come off. I've got another one, so I'm going to splice that onto that and start with that. This looks like it could be battery. We've got the rectifier, one for the engine. Looking at these, that looks like coil. That looks like something to do with the backlight because it's the green and yellow stripe. Not sure what the red is. We've got red up here. We've got another green with a yellow stripe and a brown. It'll focus. So we're going to try and work out what does what. Right then, start with just doing this end first, wherever it's gone. Yeah, do that one first. Well, wiring. He's done my head in. My head's fried. I've got a lot of mess. I put the headlight on, but not wired up. So, it's Saturday, I need to go for a ride to clear my head. So I'm going to call it on this one for this week and start again on Monday. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and thanks to the new subscribers. Yeah, we'll be back and go through this wiring when my head's clear. Right, I'm down, I'm gone, and I'll catch you on the next one.